Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. UFC Perth going down this Saturday. We had the Saturday off, and it was a brutal Saturday. I'm not going to lie. I hate when there's no UFC on Saturday. But
what'd you do?
You're not going to let me introduce you.
I got to know what you did on Saturday, man.
What did I even do Saturday?
With no UFC, man, it was like peaceful, but also you missed something. It was a crazy feeling on Saturday.
You know,
not a lot of action.
I know what I did Saturday. I actually was redoing a room in my house, and it took way longer than it needed to. I had to repaint some shit, sand down the walls, try to put up this wallpaper that my girl really wanted this wallpaper up, and I'm like, it's not gonna work. I knew it in my mind. I'm like, this is just not going to work. And we tried it anyway. We failed, and I'm like, okay, now we know we can't do wallpaper. So that was my Saturday. Honestly, it was a rough Saturday.
So you need the UFC back just so you don't have to do any more house stuff.
Exactly.
No more wallpaper projects.
100%. It gives me the excuse to not have to do anything else. Give me something to enjoy. How was your Saturday?
It was, you know what? I work on Saturdays, so all I did was work all day. It is the same for me.
Okay. Well, I know you're a salesman, right?
Yeah, I do sales. I do turf sales, artificial turf.
Turf sales. Grinding out.
Is that a thing? You're out in Florida, right? Is that a thing out there?
I did live in Florida. I live in Wisconsin now, but I would love to have a turf lawn in my future. I just don't think it's feasible in Wisconsin because of the snow.
Yeah.
There's
most places it doesn't exist. I never thought in my life that I'd be selling plastic grass or looking at plastic grass, and most people don't imagine to be buying it either. It's weird.
I would love a turf lawn. It sounds amazing because cutting the grass is not fun. And
you take care of it yourself?
Yeah, of course. I got to, and then the weeds and all the bugs inside of it. It's disgusting, man. I don't like it, but it does feel nice to cut the grass, and then it looks nice, and then a couple of days later, it's shit again. So then you got to go back and do it again, but.
You got to make it therapeutic for you. It's got to feel just like a rhythm, something nice.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of therapeutic, but it's just like a lot of upkeep, you know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got Brandan Olivas in the house. He's starting us off with some different type of conversation, which I know based on watching your podcast with Santino, that's like the best part of the podcast, honestly.
Dude, every week too, we get people, hey, get right into the picks, man. Shut the fuck up. Get right into the picks. That's the part we have the most fun with, the beginning part.
It's a lot more fun than talking about, some women's MMA that nobody really gives a shit about. So, I mean, I'm with you there. I am definitely with you there. I'm going to hit these chats real quick. I know Dick's Insider. Are you familiar with Dick's Insider?
Yeah, just a bit. He made us a bunch of songs. He's awesome, man. He's super cool.
Shout out to Dixon. We got Flex2099. How we doing, brother? What question for Hey-Jive and Brandan? What is your top 3 favorite fights on this UFC Australia card? Thanks for your time. I think we got the same question last time with Liam, but rapid fire, off the top of my head, let me just pull this up. I'm going to go, I'm actually kind of excited for Jimmy Crute, Erslan, just to see what the fuck happens. Navajo Stirling, Adolfo Bellato, and I guess the main event, sure. What about you?
This is going to sound weird. You dissed it to start, but I'm actually pretty interested in this Loma Lumbukmi fight now.
Okay.
I know it's a weird one. I'll explain why. I really want to see Josias Musasa. I think that kid has a lot of potential, and man, he swings some bricks. That's going to be a fun one. And then let me see, last one. I think Nolan and Campbell is going to be going to be a war for as long as it goes.
That's a good one too. I can't believe I missed that, but that's actually probably the best firefight I could think of, between two guys that I think could actually turn out to be like a war. Before we get into this, so if anyone is not familiar, Brandan is not only a Brazilian women connoisseur, he's a 1-0 professional MMA fighter. And the last time you fought was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Shout out to
Yes, it was.
In APFC, and that was 2023, 2024. Are you there?
Oops, sorry. Something just started playing on my.
It didn't play for me. So if it's something that could get us banned here, we're all
Oh
right.
my goodness! I pulled up Tapology and it just started playing songs. Okay, sorry about that. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, last time I fought was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It was. It's been a long time. That was a crazy place. It's very like just normal, I guess. I'm not used to normal. I'm from Phoenix. There's like a lot going on here all the time.
Yeah. Did you fight at Potawatomi, that casino there?
Where did I can't. No, I fought like right in the middle of Milwaukee. It was at the. Oh my God, the Baird Center. It was right in the middle of downtown Milwaukee, where all the stuff is.
Okay. Yeah, Milwaukee. I've never been a huge fan of Milwaukee, to be honest, but I do.
It was very terrifying. I don't want to go back.
Yeah, it's not an amazing place, but it'll do. So, is there any fight coming up that you think you would be down for? Like, are you looking for another fight, or what's going on with that?
Man, it's been tough. Like I've been dealing with a lot of injuries just over the time, and so I'm kind of at the stage in my life where I'm not sure. Like that's really the answer. Is like the regional MMA scene is a lot harder now. Like finding fights, there's not as many promotions. There's not Bellator anymore. There's not people picking up a lot of contracts, and I think I'm at a stage too where I do want a family soon. Do you have kids?
I have one.
Nice. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. So at some point I want to get there. So I think, I don't know. I think some days I still want to fight. And then other days I'm like, man, I would just like to help coach the next generation. And I see how hard some of these guys are training sometimes. And even though I know I'm good and I'm in there like every day sparring with top guys and I do really well. Like, I don't know. I don't know what my future holds. I was supposed to fight actually last weekend, but I just couldn't solve these injuries. So we'll figure it out, and eventually I'll make a decision. But it's in limbo for now.
Yeah, take it day by day. One day you might feel like you want to be a UFC champion. One day you might feel like you want to be the next Santino DeFranco.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm little Santino Jr. So maybe that's my next thing. Is as Santino's coaching career ends, then I'll usher in the new era.
Yeah, make sure you guys that are in the chat right now go check out Santino's YouTube. It's linked in the title and in the description. They got good podcasts over there. But let's hop into this breakdown so we don't, go too long because we got 14 to talk about. But if there's any other side tangents, I'm all down for them. We got Loma Luke Boonmay taking on Alexa Thainara. Thainara coming in here as the favorite, sitting at about minus 230. Loma sitting out plus 200. My boy Nolan is like a big Loma Luke Boonmay fan. It's like the weirdest thing, but he was the guy I first started doing a podcast with probably 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And it's like every Loma fight, he's just like, give me Loma, man. Loma's she's on a roll. She can't be beat. And that's like good. That's like over her win streak. So she's on like a 3 or 4 fight win streak, but she doesn't fight that often. And then Alexa Thainara, she got the round 1 sub against Molly McCann, retired Molly McCann her last time out. And she was a favorite in that one as well. So, I mean, she's sitting around a similar size favorite as she was against Molly McCann. What are you thinking here? So
originally yesterday on our podcast, I picked Alexa Thainara, and I had liked it a decent bit. And it's not completely off the table now. The one issue, she's going to be a lot bigger than Loma. Loma's not really a straw weight. She's actually kind of like an atom weight. She just fights because that's the only division for her. There's nothing lower. If they had atom weight, she would be there. Hey, your buddy's going to be jealous. I almost had a random breakfast with Loma one time.
That would be. Does she speak English?
No, she doesn't.
That'd be really awkward.
I think this was a funny story. I told this on our pod once, but not on yours. She came to Arizona to train for some period of time. She was supposed to come to Fight Ready, where I train at. And so she was in Vegas training, and she got into a random car. And they said, we're going to Arizona. She goes, okay. And got in the car and ended up at the MMA lab, not at Fight Ready, because she doesn't speak English. And she just got in the car, and they took her to the lab instead. Yeah, so I almost had a random breakfast with her. It was funny. But it's weird. The size aside, I think Loma is going to be a lot faster in this fight. Like, she is very slick. She makes reads. And I definitely had some bias because Thainara fought Molly McCann and got rid of her easily. And then she fought a former training partner in the fight before that. And that girl, Rose Conceição, she was kind of scared right from the start. She never offered anything on the feet, nothing to hurt Alexa. There was no danger. And then Alexa kind of knew, like, all right, at any point, I'm just going to take her down over and over and over again. The thing with Loma is she's so clean and she's so fast and she's so good in the clinch. And when I'm watching Alexa throw her punches, everything is so wide. I love how Loma grabs the clinch and she turns people off so she can get her, back to the center of the cage. The more that I watch this, the more that I look, I think I like Loma, and I like Loma by decision at plus 275. I don't think she's got enough firepower to hurt Thainara, so I think her only win condition is by decision.
Yeah.
And then also, this is a big thing too. So people don't really realize, I never realized this, Thailand and Australia, it's like a 3-hour flight. Thainara has to fly across the world and a half. Like, she's going to be so jet lagged and all the stuff going on. I think that Loma's going to have more energy, springier, sprawl and brawl, pick her apart on the feet, just cleaner and sharper. I like Loma, and I'm almost passionate about this one.
Loma, wow, that's an interesting take, because I think I was pretty dead set on Thainara, and I actually put a bet on Thainara in a parlay, but I could see where you're coming from, man. Like, the speed could be a difference. I just think the size is going to be a difference. And I think Thainara's physicality, like women's MMA physicality, to me means like so much. It's like you get one girl that's way more physical than the other, it's easier to impose your will, because in men's MMA, you can get these smaller guys that are just tree trunks, or they just don't look strong, but they are strong. Kind of like a Bryce Mitchell. Like, you don't look that strong, but
country strong for sure.
Yeah. Loma, I think she is. I don't think she's like a pushover or anything, but I think Loma's fight style is kind of like on thin margins. Like, she's going to like closer decisions against lower level competition that I just don't really think she should be going to close decisions with these girls if she's going to compete with Alexa Thainara. I think Thainara striking, she's definitely going to leave some openings because, like you said, she's a little bit loopy, but she throws a lot of volume. And for a women's, 115 weight class, like if you throw volume and you can mix in some takedowns and your jiu-jitsu looks solid, like I think she should be able to beat Loma here. So you said you like Loma by decision plus 275. I think that is probably her win condition. I think it's got to be like a close decision. Yeah, like a 29-28 or barely winning these rounds. Maybe she could hurt him like in the clinch with like an elbow or something, split her open. I don't know. But I think Thainara's got this one. So I like the Thainara side.
One last thing I just want to say about this fight is I faded Loma in her last fight too. Everything with me is very matchup dependent. Estela Nunes, I'll die for her. I love her. She's my favorite lesbian on the planet. She's my favorite stud by far. But one thing that Loma, and the reason she's going to close decisions with a lot of these people too, it's a lot of fight styles. Estela Nunes was a lot taller than her, a lot taller, not like 3 inches taller, but probably 4 or 5 inches taller. And she was a very fast, dynamic, sharp striker. I think Loma had a lot of issues kind of figuring out how to get inside. And the reason that I switched from Thainara to Loma in this fight is because Thainara is always there bringing the fight. Never does she sit back. Never is she at range. Never is she making reads. She's just charging forward all the time. And then what I kind of saw was Loma likes to uppercut, hook, leave the pocket, and she turns out. And Thainara is just in there swinging wide looping shots. So I just think it's very matchup dependent. Thainara is going to bring the fight all the time. She's never going to be at range and fighting to a close, 50-50 striking fight. So that was the only thing that I saw at the very end.
Well, good. Finally, it seems like we get some disagreement. It seems like every time like we do these live streams with a guest, it's like every fight we just agree on everything. So good that we started off with a disagreement.
All right, good. Now we'll agree on everything else from here.
Yeah. All right, we got a couple of no images here. We got Brando Pericic taking on Eli Ellison. Supposed to be on the Contender Series. They moved it to this card because they need heavyweights, I guess. I don't really know. But maybe they see something in Brando being the guy that is from City Kickboxing. He's the favorite here, minus 220. Eli Ellison, watching his tape, it's not really that impressive to me. And I can't really say a lot of great things either with Pericic. It's like he looks solid, but it doesn't look like he's going to be the next top 5 contender. It doesn't seem like he's going to be the top 10 contender. unless he makes some real improvements. Still very young in his career, so you got to give him that. But I do think Pericic probably wins here and probably knocks him out. But the one thing with Ellison is he trains with Chase Hooper, right? And, Pericic only losses by submission. Ellison's also been sub. So maybe if this big heavy gets down to the ground, like maybe Ellison can lock something up, but I don't really see it hit the ground. I think Pericic probably knocks him out. What do you think?
I think this is probably the best and easiest spot on the card. Ellison has no punch resistance. Every shot he takes hurts him. Watch that fight with Pearson was pretty bad. So one, I'm a jiu-jitsu black belt, so I can tell when people have game and when they don't have game. And actually, it's funny because Chase Hooper and I used to be sponsored by the same jiu-jitsu company, so I've got to see his entire career coming up. Let me tell you, Chase Hooper being as good at jiu-jitsu as he is has nothing to do with Ellison. Their games, their bodies, everything is completely different. And the things that Hooper does that makes him so good, listen, Ellison cannot do that. He's not really dangerous. Like, even when he's taking guys down, he's not super dangerous on top. He doesn't have a lot of submissions. And then striking on the feet, he is super green. Nothing is a setup. Everything is blitzing, or it's on the back foot. Every time he gets touched on the feet, he gets hurt. Pericic has he's got his issues for sure. He's got bad cardio, pretty bad grappling, but the dude definitely hits hard, and he's a much more efficient striker. I think he's gonna knock him out, and it's gonna be easy.
Dude, like minus 225 on Pericic. I feel like if this was the Contender Series, he'd be like minus 400, minus 450. It's funny though. They moved this to a home game for him, and then the line's like not that much. You know how like Contender Series lines just tend to balloon one way or the other. Like when I'm watching tape on him, I feel like Pericic should be able to knock him out clean here. And he opened as the underdog, which is crazy. Oh, how juicy would that 185 line have been? Dang. It's insane. What's Pericic by KO? -1. It's minus money, but I think it's a guarantee, to be honest with you. Yeah, probably go round 1 or round 2. Or that round 1's pretty nice. I think Ellison has literal 0 punch resistance and cardio also. Yeah, I'd probably go round 1, honestly, because if he jumps on his neck and submits him, I'd be pissed if I paid minus money on the KO. So, or maybe he just made Izzy do a whole promo talking about how he's the hardest hitter in New Zealand. Like, he's got to finish by knockout. No way. I'm pretty sure Ellison. What did he get submitted by? It was like some stupid choke, kind of like the dude on the Contender Series last night that verbally tapped to the rear naked choke. Did you see that? Yeah. That's insane, dude. The dude verbally taps to a rear naked choke. It was a little tiny short choke, but I didn't think they called it from the choke. I thought he went for the choke and missed it and then kept punching him. But either way, no good. Yeah. I had that fight to end by KO because these are big boys. And who's going in there on the Contender Series looking for submissions? But a nice gentle submission. Good Lord. Dude. Ellison got submitted by a side choke by Dave Pearson. What the fuck is a side choke? Oh, did we lose him? We may have lost him. Or he's just shocked about the side choke. All right, we're going to hit these chats while Brandan possibly gets back. Sergio, I'm taking the over 1.5 on the big boys. Wow. Are you back? Not quite. Ellison can wrestle. He's going to be looking for the takedown right away. Brandon's still in and out. The big red flag here being Hooper's coach is sending him to his funeral with a striking game plan. Yeah, that's true. What up, Olajuwon? How we doing, brother? Brandon, I think I could hear you. I just think you're frozen. I can hear you. Oh, there he is. He's refreshing. What up, Dixon? At work washing dishes. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I'm doing well, Olajuwon. Doing well. There he is. We'll add him back. All right. Technical difficulties. I'm back. Sorry about that. No worries. Did you hear me when I said Ellison got submitted by a side choke? Yeah. It was a weird submission. It almost looked like kind of like a bulldog choke or something.
This might be actually the same choke that I finished my pro debut with, if that's what it's called, a side choke, like literally just using your shoulder on the side of the neck.
Yeah. All right, let's move on from that one. We got some more women's MMA, and we got a rear naked choke artist here, Michelle Montague. 6 wins, all rear naked choke. Luana Carolina, Dread, coming in here as the dog, the UFC veteran, at plus money. Is that tempting to you?
Does that mean you're jonesing for a Luana Dread Carolina bet?
I mean, I kind of want somebody to talk me into it because, I think Michelle, I think she has a real possibility to go in there and submit her. But, I think her striking's terrible. And I think Luana's, not that bad, dude. She's not terrible,
People get mad every time that I talk about Luana Carolina because I call her Anderson Silva. She's like female Anderson Silva. Just the way that, I don't know, she's kind of got the same rhythm.
Maybe she had autism or something.
Exactly. That's why people get so furious. They're like, how could you ever compare her to the legend? Man, I don't know on this one. I wouldn't. And here's a couple of reasons why. One, Montague, big girl.
Huge.
Montague. I don't think I could take her down, to be honest. She's 145 moving down to 135. So she's going to be huge. And then if you've seen her Instagram, she's on the same supplement stack as Kayla Harrison. She's all shredded out, 6-packed out. The one thing is she can wrestle, man. For a woman, very impressive wrestling. She chains things together. And Luana Carolina is really good against, obviously, people who like to grapple her. We just saw with Stoliarenko. We saw with Pudilova a little bit. The thing is that Stoliarenko can't wrestle a lick. And once Luana Carolina is on her back, I don't think she's very good. She has a couple submission attempts, but I think she's going to be outstrength by a mile here. I think that Montague, just way more physical. And honestly, I think her stand-up is coming a long way. Some of those PFL fights back in the day were atrocious. She's throwing punches and bending over. It was real bad. But now I think she actually throws with a little bit of heat, at least enough to get some respect until she can grapple. But, I don't hate any Luana Carolina round 3 props in case Montague starts gassing. We could definitely see that with the new weight class. Or we could see her look world-class with the new weight class because she has to run a lot more. I think Michelle is just too big and physical, and the grappling style in the home country. I'm going to go with Michelle here.
Yeah. Women's MMA, again, size and physicality.
Yeah.
I don't like that Thainara Luke Boonmay one, but
I was like, if you go for one and not the other.
No, I agree. I think Michelle, if she gets her down, it's going to be levels there. But honestly, I don't think her wrestling's that good. I think her entries are terrible. Because her striking's so bad. So in MMA, it's gonna be tough. I wish she would look for the clinch up against the cage a little bit, and then look for a body lock, a waist, around the waist, and try to drag her down and then put the hooks in. Because she's got a nasty rear naked choke. So why are you trying to double leg girls? Why are you trying to single leg girls to get on top when it's clear you want to get to the back? So it's a weird style for me, watching her fight, knowing that she wants to get the fight to the ground. I just don't really think she's that effective at it. But if she's going down a weight class, I think she's probably going to be way more physical. I don't think Luana's takedown defense is that good either. So, I think Michelle probably does get the submission here. The submission line right now, where is it? Plus 180. You'll probably get plus 200 on something better later in the week. But I don't think Carolina's finishing her. Maybe a round 3 or decision in case she does gas out. But I think Michelle probably does get it done here. You also go ahead.
I was gonna say Dread could bust her up a little bit. She's got a really nice body kick, and I think the thing that Montague does a lot is she'll overextend on punches, like we talked about. If Luana times that teep kick, that little front right to the belly, she could hurt her a lot to the body. And we could see a finish, I think.
So maybe an under.
Honestly, an under either way, I think covers both sides.
How about that? Fight doesn't go, even money. That's kind of interesting.
I like it. Actually.
Kind of like it. Maybe that's a play. Fight doesn't go, even money. I'm gonna have to think about that one. I kind of opened my eyes to that because I was thinking either Montague sub or Carolina decision. But you're right. I mean, it is a step up in competition as well. And Luana's nasty in the clinch as well. Some good elbows, sharp elbows, man.
And also, too, this is another thing we have to consider. She's going to make her UFC debut on a massive, massive card in her home country. You have the UFC jitters. You have adrenaline dumps. For somebody who's already kind of tired in fights, round 2 comes. Luana's calm as they come. That's kind of her nice features. She's always one pace the whole fight. I could see, her hurting Montague maybe late in the fight. I still think Montague is going to win, but I could see that world.
I agree. I do have a soft spot for Luana, though. I've been cashing tickets on her. I think she's on
pretty nasty
3-fight win streak. I think I've bet her every single time. So I like her. Let's move on to the fight that you talked about earlier. Josiah Musasa taking on Colby Thicknesse. Josiah's coming in as a slight favorite here. Thicknesse coming off the loss to Toporia's brother. Musasa coming off the loss to Carlos Vera. Both guys lost their UFC debut. Who will bounce back? You have a passionate take on this one?
I was trying so hard to find a way for Colby to win this fight. I'm like, yeah, but Josiah's got taken down in this fight. He got heel hooked in this fight, or, whatever, just submitted and all this stuff. Man, that kid is dynamic. That kid is good. He's got power. He comes forward. He just beat that Georgian guy who I thought had a lot of skills. That guy was a very talented, skilled striker, and the dude could wrestle his ass off. And then I look at Colby. Oh my God, dude. He's like dancing in the cage all the time. He never sets his feet, plants them to throw. Like nothing is done with power. His wrestling, his entries are awful. His jiu-jitsu is okay. It's fine once he gets there, but man, it's like, how's he going to get inside on this guy? Josiah is very, very green, but man, that kid swings to hurt people. And I don't know. I just don't see it with Thicknesse. I like Musasa here.
I kind of think Thicknesse is like a worse version of the Georgian dude, Tanzalovi.
1,000 times worse. He's like worse in every area.
Yeah, because I remember I bet on Tanzalovi there against Musasa.
So did I. I was so pissed.
The entire fight, I'm like, dude, this dude Musasa's hips are insane. Like Tanzalovi would get a clean shot on him, and then Musasa would just hip thrust him out of the way, shuck him off. Even if he got taken down, there was like no way that he was getting controlled on the ground. He would just post with a hand and get back up to his feet. And I'm like, geez, like what? How does this guy have such good get ups and takedowns or takedown defense when he's like this green? And he trains.
That's just African genetics. You just grab people and you just lift them off you. That's the cheat code.
Literally, what I was thinking. I'm like, dude, this dude is just built different. Like if he
never gets tired. I kept thinking eventually he's gonna fade and we'll come on for sure.
Yeah, and Tanzalovi was the guy that was fucking tired in that fight. So I mean, I agree with you, man. I think Musasa's danger factor on the feet is like 1,000 times more than Thicknesse. And the way that Thicknesse fought Topuria, he honestly just looked scared the entire time. He was just like throwing these weird kicks that really had nothing on them, kind of basically just trying to keep Topuria away from him. And it's his UFC debut. Like, I get it against a tough opponent, but he didn't really show me anything that could make me believe he goes in there and puts on a good performance against Musasa unless he changes something dramatically. So I think Musasa gets it done. I think even if it goes to decision, I think Musasa probably lands the better shots, shucks the takedowns. My only concern really is if the fight hits the mat and Thicknesse's, jiu-jitsu
on his back or something.
Yeah, like it's got to be a really bad spot for Musasa, because if he gets taken down, I think he'll probably be able to pop up quickly. But let's take a look at the odds. So we got Musasa minus 150 right now. You can get a little bit better on some other minus 140 something. Do you think he gets it done decision or KO?
Dude, I think he's gonna hurt Thicknesse. Yeah. Like I just think he's gonna hurt him. That dude is not UFC level.
Topuria cracked him with that big right hand in round 1. And then watching some more of his tape, he's been hurt a lot in round 1. So,
yeah, but Topuria also never really went for it. It was kind of nice to watch Topuria because I could see his full skills.
Yeah. I was waiting for him to go for it the entire fight. I'm like, dude, this guy does not want to be in there with you. Like, put your foot on the gas, dude. Like, what are you doing?
Also, man, I've watched you punch before. You could punch. You could box, man. Watch Thicknesse. How do you feel like he punches? There's nothing on it.
arm punches. It's all
arm punches.
That's like the biggest indicator when I watch some of these guys strike. Like, I'm not a professional by any means, but if you're throwing punches like this, like
we can tell the difference. We can tell the difference.
Yeah, like you're reaching. I'm like, for one, you're not confident. For two, like you ain't doing anything with those punches either. So Musasa, different, very different. He's fucking going for that shit. So
boom, boom, whole body,
big combos. If you just throw those naked 1-2s, like, oh god, man, it honestly just like last night with Javier Reyes.
Yeah,
Javier Reyes' striking on film looks so bad. It looks so bad. And then he goes on there and knocks out Justice Torres. Like, dude.
Sometimes you can just hockey punch people, and that's all you need. Like, people spend so much time trying to be so good when you really need to be just gritty sometimes.
I mean, if you're not like a clean striker, be a Javier Reyes and just throw some fucking wild shit. Like,
have unlimited cardio and throw everything with gas. That's it.
Exactly. Thoughts on Topuria versus Almacan at Qatar? That's actually an interesting fight.
It's a great fight.
Man, I'm not going against Topuria.
Yeah, I gotta pick Topuria for sure.
Topuria, man. One more. I got the under 2.5 at plus 233. Dang. In the Musasa fight, that's some big.
That's a crazy line.
Jesus. Musasa will simply just stand up 100%. All right, moving on. We got Jamie Mullarkey, Rolando Bedoya. Dude, do you want to skip this one?
Why do you say that? You don't like this fight?
I hate it, man. Like, what's the breakdown here? Like, you could say anything you want about this fight, and then Jamie Mullarkey goes down to a swift breeze of air, and then that's the breakdown. Like,
that's exactly it, because he's technically better than Bedoya everywhere. He's got better grappling. He's a sharper striker. He's got a very good jab. Like, he moves his head. Jamie Mullarkey is like a good fighter, and sometimes I just kind of look at him and I really question, does he want to fight anymore? Does he just do this because why? Where Bedoya seems like he really wants it. He's like kind of the kid with an opportunity. So I think that Bedoya tries a lot harder, but I don't think he's as good as Mullarkey. So where does that really leave us? It leaves us with an even line and a lot of uncertainty.
100%. I'm like I picked Jamie Mullarkey, but with like the lowest confidence level, because I agree with you. I think he's better in like every aspect, but I'm not gonna lay any money on him to win. And when I'm looking at the odds, I'm like, man, like under 2.5 plus 153 on a Jamie Mullarkey chin, like AV.
Yeah. But I also just don't think Bedoya has much power. Again, kind of how he punches. Everything, all his punches are always trailing his body, and you can't really have power like that.
If he had any type of power, like, then I'd be like, sure, Bedoya. But he
different conversation.
Yeah. What's Bedoya KO? Plus 300. Might get like plus 350 later in the week. But I don't really know what to say about this one, man. Like, I don't even know if I want to get invested at all. Like, maybe the under, because Bedoya's never been finished, but he's never fought Jamie Mullarkey in Australia,
I think this is one thing that we kept talking about, though. I think this is going to make the difference in the fight. One, I think Mullarkey's a better grappler. I think he actually does have like pretty good jiu-jitsu. Good entries on his wrestling, like when he wants to wrestle. I think he's actually pretty good. I think his jab is a lot sharper and straighter to the target than Bedoya. A lot of times when Bedoya throws, he's in combination. He's always chin up in the air, and he'll swing wide loopy, and he does definitely, put them together. But I think Mullarkey, just everything is straighter, right to the target, narrow. I don't know that Bedoya has the power to hurt him, and then I think that Mullarkey has a big grappling advantage. So, I mean, at minus 120, which is the current line, if you could find better, obviously, I think he's definitely the side, just skills-wise. And especially in Australia, every time he lands something, crowd, wow, going crazy. So I think that's enough for me to pick his side.
The only bad thing about that is every time Bedoya lands, Mullarkey's face gets so red. It's unreal.
It's like he's playing paintball. Every single punch that lands.
Oh. Mac Desi had him in a pool of blood. I'm like, dude, like Mac Desi's barely hit you this fight. Like anything that dude lands, it gets red or his nose gets busted up. But yeah,
This might be the ugliest fight in recent memory, too. I mean, these are not good-looking guys.
no, man. I mean, Mullarkey's got a huge forehead, huge chin.
I mean, actually, not far behind or not far ahead of the fight above it or even the fight below it, to be honest with you.
Dude, have you seen Elliott's head? That dude's head looks huge. Like in the pictures,
It takes up half the frame. He's definitely got
it's
like twice the size of Jonathan.
I never realized it until this week when I was making a graphic, and I'm like, holy shit, dude, that dude's got a noggin. But he's been knocked out a couple times, and here we are talking about him, taking on Jonathan Micallef. Elliott screwed the pooch his last time out against Seok Ko, and Jonathan Micallef cashed as an underdog in his UFC debut. Now we're looking at the odds. Oban goes from a huge favorite to Seok Ko, and now he's sitting at a minus 118. Jonathan Micallef, I think, was around plus 200 against Kevin Jousset. Now he's minus 102. So, I mean, a really closely lined matchup, and I can see why. What do you think about this one?
I'm actually going to go on the Jonathan Micallef side on this one. And I know a lot of my friends kind of like the Oban Elliott side, and I definitely see why. In Micallef's last fight, I thought that Jousset was too slow to I thought Jousset was just too slow to take advantage of stuff. So he just had kind of free reign to blast body kicks without a lot of return from the hands. Now, Oban, I think, is a lot more dynamic. He moves a lot better. He's more active than Jousset. But he had a lot of issues, I thought, with southpaws. Ko in that last fight, every time he fought southpaw, he had a lot of issues, and he ended up grappling. And every time he would try to hit him, he would square up his stance. So the thing that I like about Micallef, one, he's a lot more comfortable, obviously, fighting in the southpaw stance because everybody he goes against is orthodox. He blast kicks, which I love a lot. And then the thing is, Oban resorts to grappling a lot of time, especially when he's getting in trouble on the feet. And I don't think he's going to be able to control guys. I don't think he's going to be able to control Micallef like he has everybody else in the past, where he's been way bigger than them or just way better as a grappler. I actually like Micallef here. What is he, a slight underdog?
Yeah, minus 102.
Yeah, very, very closely lined fight, but I think I like Jonathan Micallef here. And again, the hometown, every time he touches Oban, crowd's going to go insane. Every little shot's going to add up a lot more. I just think he's a very talented grappler as well, and that southpaw is going to be an issue.
Yeah, I think so as well. I took Micallef for my pick, and I think a lot of the same things that you broke down, like the southpaw stance. He throws a lot of kicks to the leg, to the body, to the head. Not a lot to the leg, but mostly to the body and the head. And then his jab's not bad either. Like he'll circle to the near side, so he's gonna win that lead foot battle. You know, he's gonna try to win that, ripping those kicks as well. And then I think grappling, like we didn't see Micallef grapple at all against Jousset, and I kind of expected him to grapple there. He didn't at all, and he just won a clean kickboxing match against.
Which also speaks on his fight IQ, because he said, this isn't broken, so why do we need to fix it?
Yeah, I agree. I was expecting him to go into that fight grappling heavy, and he just won it straight up kickboxing. So that was kind of impressive. I don't think he's like the best striker, but he makes it effective, and he's long, very long. And he throws those kicks, which is nice. And I don't think Oban's going to out-grapple him here. I think, if anything, Micallef might out-grapple Oban. And I don't really think Oban's game from the bottom is very good. Like, he got smoked by Ko when he was on bottom and getting wrestled. And we hadn't really seen him on the ground in the UFC before that fight. So, I mean, we didn't really know what his grappling looked like at a UFC level before that fight. So maybe it's just not on the level that it needs to be defensively. We've seen him grapple offensively, but against the Val Woodburns of the world, and he got hurt against Val Woodburn as well. Like, I don't think he's the most durable guy either, because he got hurt against Val Woodburn. He got hurt on the Contender Series, nearly died, and then he's been knocked out like twice in Cage Warriors before that. So I mean, definitely not betting Oban here. Definitely considering a Micallef bet, but I don't know if there's better spots on the card, I might just lay off. Maybe a Micallef. Look at these props. What do we got here? Honestly, the KO number is kind of nice. Plus 500. Probably get like plus 600. Inside the distance, plus 3. What's the over-under?
Yeah, I think I'm more interested in by decision, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I expected, but I like to go for the little juicy just in case we could see something.
A little more fun.
Like if they were giving me Micallef by KO at like 9 or 10 to 1, then I might have to like take a little sprinkle, but plus 500 is that's probably about accurate, man. They're expecting it to go to decision pretty often. I kind of agree. Both guys are. It's a close competitive fight. I don't really see either guy getting finished.
That should be a kind of a good fight too. Like Oban of old, he used to love to throw down. That's the Oban I miss. I would actually pick him if he was like more offensive like he used to be.
Daddy Dana, we are reading the chat. Did we talk about Musasa fight? We just talked about it. You can rewind if you want to hear our thoughts on that. Sergio's taking the Welch gangster. Not much of a gangster his last fight. It will be 8:45 a.m. if this guy says the crowd will be going crazy. Hey, the Aussies, man, they will be going crazy no matter the time. Those are like the most degenerate people I've ever seen.
Oh, I know. I don't associate with any of them.
You think Oban's training with Ian Gary might improve his grappling? I mean, if he's training with Ian Gary, I guess maybe a game plan, but
yeah, Ian Gary's more of a defense. I mean, Ian Gary's a good grappler, but he's definitely more of a defensive grappler. So I don't know, and I don't really know how that applies to this fight so much.
Yeah, it's probably not for that long either. I mean, I don't know if you can fix a ton of stuff in like a short amount of time, but maybe. All right, moving on. We got Cam Rowston taking on Andre Petroski. Rowston coming in off the knockout victory on the Contender Series just about a month ago, honestly. Andre Petroski lost to Edmund Shabazian in Atlanta in a fight that was unbelievably boring. And I didn't really think he did much to give himself a chance to win. And that's kind of the thing about Petroski is like sometimes he has a great game plan against Rodolfo Vieira. Good game plan, executed it, looked good, got the win as an underdog. He goes in there against Edmund Shabazian. What do you do against Edmund Shabazian? You want to take him down. And he didn't really, push for those takedowns. So he's kind of a wild card, but he's got UFC wins. He's got a lot of UFC experience, and Cam Rowston does not. And Petroski's sitting right now at about a minus 160 favorite. Rowston comes back at plus 140. I think Petroski is the rightful favorite, and I think he should be able to get this one done. I really see him doing it with the wrestling because, I mean, Torres Finney took this guy down, held him down. And I think Petroski has better jiu-jitsu, better control on the ground than Torres Finney. So I think that's probably the route that Petroski goes, but I don't really know if he's going to take that game plan. What are you thinking?
This one I've been back and forth on a lot because I think this is an extremely winnable fight for Rowston.
Yeah.
My biggest issue with Rowston is he's not comfortable on the feet, which is a shame because that's actually, I think, the place that he's the best at. I think he's better on the feet than any other part of his game. If you watch the Shabazian fight, he didn't have to do a lot there. All he did was pretty much pump a jab, and Petroski put his own back on the cage, and he just stood there for 15 minutes while Edmund just practiced his jab and his 1-2s. Rowston could do the same thing. He's going to be a lot taller. He's a much sharper striker than Petroski. But the thing is that he gets uncomfortable after about 20 seconds on the feet, and he starts shooting. And he's not going to take Petroski down. Petroski's such a good wrestler. He's one of the very few guys in MMA who's a phenomenal wrestler and a phenomenal jiu-jitsu guy. And I actually do like his striking. He's starting to put stuff a little bit together. I wouldn't play Petroski at juice here. I think that's like an awful, awful idea. I think ultimately he's going to win just with volume on the feet. I actually think it's going to be a standing fight that's going to get it done for him because Rowston does like the cover sometimes and let guys tee off on him. And I think the threat of takedowns is going to open up a lot for Petroski. So I think he wins. I wouldn't play him at chalk. I actually think this is kind of a good live bet spot for Rowston. Even if Petroski gets him down in the first round, I think he's going to have issues. I think that's going to wear on his tank. Not a lot of other guys that Petroski has fought before have given him opposition about actually standing up. And at least Rowston tries to stand up. He tries to get back to the feet. I mean, let's see. Most of his fights, too, are kind of standing fights even. Frem never really tried to get back up. Budka was just complete wash. I don't know. I think Rowston's very live here. I'm going to pick Petroski to win, but I wouldn't lay a bet on that one.
Yeah, I'm not betting on Petroski here. I actually think he's gonna try to wrestle him. Because, like, if he strikes with Rowston, he's so much smaller. Like, Rowston's just going to be throwing a bunch of kicks out there. And maybe he just obliges and he's just going to take the kicks and strike with him. But I feel like he's going to try to take him down and, like, wet blanket him. Like he did.
I think that's the smartest. I mean, that's definitely where he's the best at. You just have to worry about his gas tank. And if you remember in the Torres Finney fight, Rowston round 3 started seeing all Torres Finney's shots coming. And I think Torres Finney has a much better gas tank than Petroski. If Rowston stops 1 or 2 takedowns from Petroski, I don't think Petroski is going to shoot again. Now we're in a stand-up battle until Rowston shoots. This is how I believe.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can see that. I think Petroski traveling that far as well. You mentioned it earlier, traveling that far.
And the crowd's going to be going crazy.
And Rowston does try to get up. Like, he got up a bunch against Torres, but, Torres with his ape arms just gobbled.
Oh, hey, be careful. Be careful.
I mean, the dude's like 5'8". He's got, like a 6'5" reach or something, 6'7" reach. It's insane. All right, let's go to the next one here. We got Navajo Stirling taking on Rodolfo Bellato. Navajo comes in here undefeated still, and Rodolfo Bellato coming off the no contest to Paul Craig. 1 win in the UFC for Bellato over Ihor Potieria. 1 draw against Jimmy Crute, who we'll talk about later, and the no contest. So all he needs now is a loss, and he's got all 4 outcomes that you could possibly get, and I think he's getting it here against Navajo Stirling. Navajo Stirling, 2 wins by decision. I'm waiting for the time that he gets a KO, and I'm waiting for Rodolfo Bellato to finally get knocked out in the UFC because it seems like this dude is hurt every single fight, and I think this is going to be the time. So I think Navajo gets him out of there by KO, either late round 1 or early round 2, and I think Navajo rolls here. But if he doesn't, I do have to give Bellato, some way to win this fight, and I think if he pushes a pace against Navajo, Navajo's on a big stage here in front of his home crowd. Maybe he wilts to the pressure of Bellato because that's kind of what Bellato likes to do, is just kind of break you down as the fight goes on. Maybe he gets some grappling here going. I just don't really see it. If it does, it's probably later. So for me, it's Stirling. What about you?
I always want to fade Navajo. I don't think he's as good as people believe that he is. And Bellato, I'm always like, man, this guy, he's sick. And in this fight, I'm actually going to go kind of the, careful how you say that, man. Hey, 5'7", that's it. But the thing is, Bellato doesn't move his head off center line. He's an offensive juggernaut. He's crazy with his offense. He's constantly touching the head and the body. I definitely can see a world where he wears Navajo down. And with pressure, I think he can mix in takedowns. I think he could hurt Navajo. But the issue is he never moves his head off center line when he enters the pocket. And Navajo is by far the best striker that he's fought recently. If Ihor is dropping you and all these guys are hurting you, and you showed in the last fight, right? He obviously he put his acting skills on display there. That was one of the worst things that I've seen in a long time. Who knows what his actual heart's going to be like? I mean, he did go through the Pateria stuff, ended up winning that fight. So, at least he showed like, hey, I am in this to win. But Navajo's so big, so strong, very precise striker. He definitely does do the right things. He tries to stand up. Bellato's a little bit like short for the weight class, very clunky. I think I'm with you. I think Navajo's going to hurt him, and it's got to be round 1 or 2. I think if it goes to 3, I don't think Stirling has enough gas to put him away. Not to say he can't win the round, but to actually hurt him and put him out. So I think Navajo wins this fight, but I'm actually going to think maybe by decision.
Decision, really? Okay. It's going to be a sweaty 15 minutes.
Oh, I know. That's going to be one of those fights where it should have ended 7 times.
Decision for Stirling plus 250. Yeah, plus 140 for the KO. I mean, I'm waiting for Bellato to get knocked out because
it's coming.
Let's just say he wasn't acting against Paul Craig. That means Paul Craig knocked him unconscious. That is a terrible look. That's a terrible look, man. So, I mean, I think Bellato gets chinned here, man. What's the round KOs? Round 1 KO plus 375, maybe plus 400 on a better book.
That's actually not too bad. That's pretty good.
Pretty good, man. That's pretty good. For a guy that's been hurt in multiple fights, yeah. I'll definitely be trying to take some of that. I can tell you that. So it's Stirling for me. I guess maybe if Bellato puts on some real plot armor, he can make it to a decision. But
I would say this, though. This is actually a fight I'm going to look at a live entry on for me. I think that maybe if Bellato takes Stirling's best shots, we might see round 2 the tides start to turn because Bellato can put offense together. Not a lot of guys that have fought Stirling can put that much offense together.
100%. You're right. Because, dude, when he was fighting Ihor, round 2, he just didn't give a fuck. He was like, you can hit me as much as you want. I'm just going to stay in your face. And he got fucking dropped and then found his way on top and just he does have insane heart. I got to give that to him.
Dude, there's nothing more discouraging than when you're fighting. I don't know. Do you spar? Do you spar with people?
I did when I was living in Florida. I don't anymore because I don't.
Okay. Yeah, when you spar with someone and you're like, all right, I got him. And you crack him with your best shot and they just look at you and laugh. That's like there's nothing more discouraging and tiring. And that's what I worry could happen here. But I think Navajo is sharp and precise. I do like him here.
All right, we'll hit the chats real quick. Stirling's a great parlay piece. Please don't say that because we know what that means is going to happen if you say he's a great parlay piece. This is the KO spot featured prelim too. True. Featured prelim for a reason. They probably expect it to be a good fight. I expect it to be a good fight as well. And that takes us to the main card.
Event. Just say event.
Event. We're almost an hour in. We're getting into this main card. Please hit the like button for me. Share this with a friend, and make sure you hit the subscription button. Make sure you check out Santino DeFranco on YouTube to stay in the know with Brandan and Mr. DeFranco. Let's get into.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that you actually check out our show sometimes because that was some deep cuts. My love for Brazilian women. Actually, my ex-girlfriend is fighting this weekend on CFFC. I know I can ruin her with one text. So if we want to load up on the other money line, we can make this happen.
You said CFFC?
CFFC.
You want to say her name or no?
I mean, I could. It's Yasmin Kasser. She's a 4-time world champion jiu-jitsu going against a girl with no jiu-jitsu. And weirdly, I think she could, it'd be an interesting fight. She should submit her, but who knows? Crazy things happen.
How do you spell the Yasmin?
IASMIM. No typo.
Okay, got you. I'm going to leave that up, and we're going to check out the odds later on once they come out for CFFC. All right. But I do watch your pods with Santino almost every week. I love listening.
That's awesome, man.
When I'm watching film, I don't want to listen to the commentary, so I'll just throw on podcasts while I'm watching film. So
I like that. I thought you meant like our commentary. I'm like, good. You got to keep your head clear when you're watching the film, so you make your own choice.
All right, let's get into this one. Tom Nolan taking on Charlie Campbell. Charlie Campbell coming in off the win to Trevor Peak. Tom Nolan, the win over Vyacheslav Borshov his last time out. Tom Nolan's put together a few victories in a row. Charlie Campbell 2-0 in the UFC. It's going to be a firefight. We got Campbell at a plus 130 dog. Tom Nolan sitting around minus 130. He is the country man, though, on home turf. You think the dog could prevail here?
You think the dog's going to prevail? You got Charlie Campbell here?
I was asking you.
Okay, so initially yesterday, Monday when I recorded our podcast, I like Charlie Campbell. And that's deep bias because regional scenes, I've always loved Charlie Campbell. I think he makes a lot of the right decisions, really good low kicks, really good jab. His defensive grappling is good. He's very good at like sweeping guys and wrestling up. He's got things that you love. Good cardio, really good. Then I watched his UFC fight, especially against Trevor Peak, who's not he's not a tactician on the feet, I would say. And there was a lot of moments where Charlie looked really bad. A lot of times he's overextending on punches. The other thing that's really weird too is he's got a very square stance. And then he stands here with his hands like this. And it's funny. It looks like that old iCarly meme where she has the MMA gloves and people use that all the time. People always put that with Sean Strickland, but it kind of looks like Charlie Campbell where he's square stance, hands are here. And the issue with that is people are going to go around his guard a lot. And he doesn't have a bladed stance where he can actually move his head out of the way. So he ends up taking a lot of damage. And the other thing I didn't realize either, he's listed at 6 foot. I thought he was a little taller than that. I thought he was 6'1", 6'2". So I was thinking, all right, this is going to be two really tall guys, dynamic guys. Charlie hits very hard. But here's kind of my biggest issue with Charlie Campbell is every single thing leads off the leg kick. And Tom Nolan is a southpaw. So that leg kick is not going to be available anymore, the calf kick. And Charlie's game doesn't have a lot of other setups. It's pretty much how can I land a low kick, right? He'll throw a fake jab, pump a jab, calf kick. This to a calf kick. I think Nolan's got a way better jab, and it's way longer range, and he touches the body. He teep kicks. He'll wrestle. We saw Charlie Campbell get taken down in that last fight by Peak, who, again, is not a phenomenal grappler or wrestler. He's just tough and, swung him around. So I honestly think, like, Santino talked me into this. I redid the film. I think Nolan's going to bust him up pretty much every which way this fight's going to go. And I'm not a huge Tom Nolan fan, but he's fighting definitely more reserved. He's pumping the jab a lot more. He's staying very defensively sound. I like Campbell, but his offense just isn't right for this fight. If he was a big power puncher or he touched the body a lot, we might be saying a different thing. But jab to low kick's not going to work against a southpaw. So for that reason, I like Tom Nolan.
Yeah, I'm not really confident in either side here. I picked Campbell, but that's more just because I don't want to say I have like a vendetta on Tom Nolan, but I can't
Since he lost to Mota?
I can't get out of my head of him, for one, getting knocked out by Mota. Mota's not bad, but getting dropped by Victor Martinez.
Oh, hey, I mean, sometimes you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet.
Good Lord, man. And then, like, his UFC wins, like, are we really that impressed? Like, Victor Martinez, I mean, I'd say the same thing about Campbell. Like, his UFC wins, I don't think are that great either, but I'm not super sold on Tom Nolan because I think he throws a lot out there, and I think that just gives him a lot of opportunities to get caught with something. And I think Charlie Campbell throws punches from a lot of different angles that could definitely hurt Tom Nolan. So, I mean, I think it's kind of just like a clash. Like, these guys are going to throw down. Maybe it comes down to who lands first, who lands their shot first, or maybe both guys just put on an iron chin and they slug it out. And if that's the case, if it goes to decision, I think Tom Nolan does the more work just because he throws a lot out there. He's good in the clinch as well. His knees are nasty. He's ripping some hard elbows against Borshev. And even off his back, he was like elbowing the shit off of Borshev. So if Campbell wants to wrestle him, he's got to watch out for that. He's so damn long, he could just rip those elbows. But I think Campbell could find a knockout here, honestly. Because I just don't really trust Tom Nolan's chin. Tall man defense, man. Oh, you getting dropped by Victor Martinez. It's never going to leave my brain. I kind of wish I just never saw the fight. But
dude, I do agree with you. But one thing I notice is watch his last fight against Borshev, who I would argue, like, if you're talking about angles and movement, Slava's got the best angles and movement in the business. His chin and grappling are suspect in his cardio, but the boy can strike. And if you watch how Tom Nolan's actually standing now, he is a lot more bladed than he used to be. He was very square, wide stance, and he would try to kill guys, and that's why he always left his chin exposed. But I love how he's tucking this shoulder now. He's fighting off the jab a lot more and kind of strikes that are very low risk. He doesn't overextend himself. That's why I almost feel this is going to go over. I kind of feel like Tom Nolan decision because of how he's fighting. He's so conserved or reserved, I guess you could say.
Dude, I saw the under at minus 145 earlier in the week, and I was like, it's kind of tempting, but I feel like it could be one of those fights where both guys are just tough and it goes over. So now that the over is at plus 153, like, I'm kind of tempted to hit that over 2.5.
I kind of think that's a good play.
And Nolan decision, might get like 3-1 on Nolan decision.
I kind of like that too. I even had him decision against Reyes. I remember that being like the biggest hole I've ever seen.
That was insane that fight went the distance. It was like minus 1,000 to not go the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember people were so pissed about that one. And even Campbell. I mean, we're talking about Nolan just went to a decision against Borshev. He went to a decision against Reyes. Campbell went to a decision with Peak. Like, outside of Alex Reyes against Charlie Campbell and Victor Martinez against Tom Nolan, like, they haven't knocked anybody out. So, I mean,
and they're only finishing guys that are super low level like that. And I do think Charlie is a tough guy.
Yeah, it's going to be a sweaty 12.5 minutes, but
for sure,
I might have to get involved there. Even if it goes higher, man. If it's like plus 170, I might have to. but it's a good fight. All right. And we went from a banger there to shit heavyweight fight here. We got Justin Tafa taking on Louis Sutherland. Justin Tafa, not much to say about him nowadays. Tafa bros are completely dead. Everything that's ever been hyped about the Tafa bros is gone out the window. They're basically a laughing stock at this point. You know Matty Betts, right?
Yeah.
Did you see? You probably didn't see it, but there was like a clip. I don't remember what Matty said on the Show Me the Money podcast, but Justin Tafa, I think, commented on it, like clapping back at him or something. Like, you wouldn't say that to my face or something like that. And it's like, and then Matty like apologized about it. I was like, dude, don't apologize. Like, just say it with your chest, man. Say it with your chest. I mean,
yeah, come on.
I thought it was hilarious that, like, obviously Tafa's not winning many fights nowadays, but like, you're gonna go on Instagram and like leave a comment of like a clip of, I don't even think he said anything bad, but I think they're a little bit fragile. Justin, Tafa,
in the comments, checking it out.
Yeah. Either way, Tafa comes in here, slight favorite or about to pick him against Louis Sutherland. Sutherland, yeah, slight favorite, -115. Sutherland, I remember him from PFL, and I don't know if you've watched his like later PFL fights or earlier on PFL fights. He didn't really look like he was in that great of shape, but like now he looks like he's on like some real sauce. Like the dude looks thick as shit. Like he looked kind of like a bag of milk earlier on. Like you watch the Abraham Babley fight and then you watch his most recent fight. He looks like a different person. Tan, kind of filled in more. So maybe he's on some juice here, but to be honest, this was my least confident pick on the entire card. I took Justin Tafa just because I feel like he's way faster and he's a way better striker. And Louis Sutherland, to me, his game just isn't very good. Like, I guess if he can extend the fight, he's probably got better cardio. He's got a better clinch game, probably better wrestling. But I don't know if it gets there. I feel like Justin Tafa might just chin him in round one because I think Louis Sutherland just kind of rushes in there and doesn't really throw anything, doesn't set up anything. So I took Tafa, but very, 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 very low confidence. What do you think?
Well, you just said you got to say things with your chest. You need to have some confidence on this one.
I can't, man.
No, he's gonna beat the hell out of this guy. So again, all the things that we've mentioned before. So one, it's UFC debut. On the main card of a massive card in Perth, Australia. Those are all things. So we already have adrenaline dump. We already have UFC jitters. We have the travel. We have the crowd going crazy every time that he touches them, But the thing is, like, okay, this is the fight that was big one to me. This Matu Salam dos Santos. He fought Sutherland southpaw almost the entire fight, and that was a razor-thin fight. That was a close fight, and if you watch when they raised their hands, they didn't say the score. I'm curious what the actual score was. But Sutherland looked like, me? I won? All right, I'll take it. He just had such a nonchalant attitude about that fight. And all that Dos Santos did was kind of throw like one lazy body kick every so often. Now you have Tafa, who legitimately is a very good striker. He hits hard, nice check hooks, really nice left hands down the pipe, huge body kicks. And then even his grappling, I don't think it's not as bad as I thought. Like going back to watch the Carl Williams fight, he at least tried to get up several times. And there was times where he would get his leg loose. Like when people trap the leg when they take you down and they're on top, they trap the leg. Tafa did a really good job of clearing his leg, trying to stand up. Round 3, he had him hurt pretty bad. And I rate Carl Williams a lot higher than Louis Sutherland, at least on the grappling.
100%.
Standing, I just don't think that Louis throws with a lot of power. It's a lot of like kind of in-tight boxing and kind of moving. I just think Tafa's going to hurt this guy. He swings so much harder. He's more confident in his striking. He's very calm and relaxed. I think Sutherland gets a little bit too antsy sometimes.
Yeah.
So honestly, I really like Tafa in this spot. I think this is a great position for him.
Can I interest you in Tafa KO1?
Absolutely.
Plus 300.
But, I think Tafa money line is good enough for me because sometimes he does build into fights. And I actually don't know if this dude's going to fight him that hard, I think he might touch and run to try to avoid that power. And we see that often.
Louis Sutherland touching and running. I don't want to see that, man.
It's be the most boring body kick fight ever.
Not a fight I want to watch. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised. We get a little love on Justin Tafa here, man. I mean,
listen, I have a heart for the Tafa brothers. I love them.
Oh, you're one of those? Are you a Tafa bro guy?
Yeah, I'm a Tafa bro.
Okay.
Someday, that's on my vision board to visit them and eat with them.
Get some love handles like them.
I already have them. I'm half Mexican, so they were just born on me.
All right.
No matter how skinny I get, I will always have them.
All right, with the chats for us, I rate this UFC Australia card a 6 out of a 1 to 10 scale.
Thank you, Forrest.
Thank you. Approve 100%. You guys think the under 1.5 is live? I could see it in the top. Sutherland fight is plus money, plus 115, plus 126. Actually, it's not bad for some heavyweights, but let's move on. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Neil Magny coming in here off the win as an underdog to Easy D. Jake Matthews comes in on a nice long win streak, fresh off a round 1 submission win to Chidi and Jokawani, the poor man's version of Neil Magny. Both 6'3", both black, but Neil Magny, a little bit older, maybe only like a year, but a lot more weathered and took in a lot more damage as of recently. But it was very impressive to see him just take over that fight against Easy D. But I think that was kind of due to Easy Dos Santos being older. Exhausted and older as well. So Jake Matthews comes in here, the much younger guy. I think he's kind of hitting his stride here against these competitors that I don't think are bad, but they're on a level where Jake Matthews could look good against. The Phil Rose, Chidi and Jokawani as well. He was an underdog to Chidi, but I bet on him there. I felt pretty good about it, and he cashed in. I just think Jake is he's going to be way faster than Neil. I think he has way more upside to finish the fight. I don't think he's going to gas out like Neil Magny has gotten a few of his most recent wins against a gassed out Easy D, against a gassed out Mike Malott. And on the ground, I mean, I think Jake Matthews probably going to be able to find a submission here, possibly. So I like Jake Matthews here. I think he can get it done inside the distance. And I kind of like the sub prop as well. What are you thinking?
I totally agree with you. Not to be like that, but anytime a submission guy is fighting a black guy, sub is an auto bet all the time. No, I'm just kidding. It's jokes for the people.
Well, it worked out against Chidi.
I'm just saying. I had him too. There's not much to add here, man. I think you did a great job on the breakdown. Jake's mean and nasty, man. The guy's got all the skills in the world. And to be able to beat Jake, you have to have something. Like, Semmelsberger is not anywhere near Jake Matthews' level, but he had power, and he was able to hurt him at critical times. I don't think Magny has power like that. He's very square stance, very like traditional Muay Thai, very slow, susceptible to leg kicks, susceptible to takedowns. Like, Matthews is the guy. He doesn't really get tired. He hits hard. I would say don't get cute with this finishing method either, because I could see a knockout or a submission. And I could see it standing or positional, right? I think there's a lot of ways he can win this fight. Give me Jake Matthews.
We got Jake Matthews inside the distance plus 140. Best out right now. I think that's solid for a minus 400 favorite, man. That's looking pretty good. Fight doesn't go as minus 105. So you're getting a little bit better if you're taking his side. And I think that's most likely the outcome. If it does, and inside the distance, it's probably a Jake Matthews finish. I saw the sub at plus 500 earlier in the week.
Ooh, that's nice.
I was like, please, nobody touch it. And now it's down to plus 300. So,
fuckers.
Somebody hit it. I was just waiting for, to get some more money on it than
open up on some book,
where we could actually get some decent money on it. But yeah, they were keen to it. Plus 500. It did not last long. Jake Matthews inside the distance plus 140 looks good to me. Poor Neil Magny.
He just takes the toughest fights, man. I hope he's getting paid super, super well for the end of his career.
Oh, I'm sure he is. A
couple $100,000 a fight just to lose to all the top prospects, and not too bad.
I don't think he would be fighting anymore if he wasn't getting paid well, because some of the matchups they give him, it's like, come on, man. You know, like
Be for real on this one. That's not cool.
Michael Morales, Carlos Prates back to back. That's just brutal. All right. Jeff loves the round 2-3 sub as well. If New Magny beats Jake Matthews in Australia, then I might give. I mean, I really think Jake got to like death gas like Mike Bellato did. You know, it's for him.
And I don't really see that happening. He's so calm. Like I like Jake Matthews.
Yeah. I mean, he's got like 20 fights in the UFC or close to it at this point.
No, this is gonna be number 22.
22? Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. Give me Jake. All right. Moving on to the feature bout of the night. We got Jack Jenkins taking on Ramon Taveras. Taveras coming in here off a near year-long layoff. Last fight was in December of 2024. Lost to Davey Grant. Got pieced up there. Jack Jenkins coming off the loss to Gabriel Santos last year as well, where he got grappled up. Knocked him down in round 1 with a head kick, though, which was kind of impressive. But he did get grappled up, and apparently something happened to him with the choke or something. Like he got put in that triangle choke in round 1. I think something happened to his neck, and then that messed him up for the rest of the fight. So a possible injury during the fight there, and then he also had the injury to Chepe Mariscal. So I mean, these guys get a little bit fragile, man. I'm getting a little bit fragile on me. But he comes in here at about a -280 favorite. Tamara's comes in at +240. I mean, I really think if Jack Jenkins loses this fight, it comes down to him having a bad game plan, which is possible, but it feels like there's so many ways he could win that it makes me believe that he should be able to get this one done. What do you think?
Well, I just looked at your graphic right now, and it didn't occur to me until I saw your graphic, so thank you for that. Ramon Taveras moving up in weight to 145.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, my God. He has every disadvantage possible. He's flying across the world. He's fighting in the guy's hometown. He's smaller. He's not as good of an MMA fighter. Like, there's just every disadvantage possible. Like, I think he's got very fast hands, and I think he's a very good boxer. I think he's going to do really, really well in bare knuckle for sure when he gets there. But he's going to get his leg chewed up the entire time. Jack's a really good grappler, too. I think we haven't really seen Taveras grappling tested a whole bunch. Most people just want to trade on the feet with him. But I think the power and the leg kicks of Jack Jenkins, who's a very nice switch hitter, is way too much for Taveras. And I actually am kind of interested in Jack Jenkins by submission because Taveras is dangerous on the feet. I don't think you always want to play with him there. But Jack's path of least resistance is take down the South Florida bad boy who probably doesn't spend a lot of days in the gi, if I had to imagine. And he's got a good sub game. I think Jack Jenkins' submission might be nasty.
Plus 900 on the submission.
Yeah, boy. That's it. That's the one right there.
It's a big number. Yeah, I mean,
plus 950.
I think if Jack stands in front of him and is willing to oblige in a kickboxing battle, then I think he's at a fair disadvantage when it comes to giving himself the best chance to win the fight. Because I think if he's going to stand in front of him, Ramon's can outbox him. Not that Jack has bad boxing, but I think Ramon's best asset is going to be the boxing in this matchup.
That's his only shot. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, if Jack goes southpaw, rips some low kicks, rips, you know, a couple kicks to the body as well, like I feel like Taveras is just going to have a tough time getting his hands off, and then he can mix in some takedowns as well. It just seems like there's every opportunity for Jack Jenkins to win this fight. I don't know that he's going to submit him, though.
I think I'm telling you, when you look at these guys who are dangerous on the feet, why wouldn't you take them down and submit the white belt? You know what I mean? And you punch him a couple times, he's probably going to have really bad tendencies like turning his back, and I think Jack Jenkins can be right there. Lock it up.
That is the downside for Taveras. We haven't seen him on the mat at all in the UFC. You know, like he hasn't been taken down ever, but there's only been like one takedown attempt, I believe, from what I saw when I was looking at the statistics.
This is the fight. Why wouldn't Jack big body him? I mean, that size difference is going to be something. Like just filled out wise, it's going to be something.
I don't think he's going to be that much smaller though. Like,
you don't think?
I mean, Jack's 5'7". I don't really think he's the biggest dude, but
I think he's a lot more muscular is what I mean. He's just a lot more, you know, when you move up a weight class, it's a big difference.
Yeah. Have you heard of lighter man skill?
But Jack's skilled too. Very skilled. He's nice.
I mean, there's a thing in the MMA world. I don't know if you've heard about it, but lighter man skill is like a real thing.
No, because of Taporia or what? Like,
Just
is he the one?
guys that go up a weight class, they're like better. Like you think about Volkanovski taking on Islam first fight.
He never won at that weight class. He's only had losses.
I mean, he gave Islam his toughest fight.
He lost, though. That's all I'm saying. And then you look at Charles Jourdain. He moved down in weight class. He goes and wins.
True. Poetan going up to 205. There's a lot of like examples of it, but
No, I know. I'm just messing with you.
yeah, in this matchup, it's like if Taveras was like a better fighter, maybe I could see it.
I was going to say, first of all, nice Poetan. I don't know if you saw. Oh, sorry. I saw the shirt. This is his UFC 300 signed shirt. So that's nice little memorabilia. But you're talking about a glory world champion kickboxer, and then Ramon Taveras, who's part of like some local boxing gym in Florida. I'm telling you, all those dudes guys are like in BKFC. Like that's where Ramon. He's got to join his friends pretty soon.
Probably
he's going to be the nastiest BKFC fighter.
He would be a good BKFC fighter, or even just go to fucking dirty boxing, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That would be a good addition there. We'll hit him up for that. Hey, Driver Brandon, can you please give a nice leg parlay for this card towards the end of the show? Sure, we could hit that at the end of the show for us. I like Jenkins at ITD, but now I'm sold on the sub. You sold Jeff. I mean,
nice. Let's go. Let's make some money.
You made a decent case. I'm not going to lie. It might be a nice little sprinkle. Lighter man skill. People forget, man. All right, we'll go to the co-main event here. We got Jimmy Crute taking on Ivan Erslan. It's an interesting one, man. I was all over Jimmy Crute against Martian Bracknell. I had a lot of money on him, a lot of investment. And I'm sitting there. I'm in Vegas watching at the Circus Sportsbook, and I'm all over Jimmy Crute. Jimmy Crute inside the distance. Jimmy Crute sub 1. And I'm like, dude, are we going to submit this guy or what? Like, he's going in there whiffing punches, kind of failing takedowns, trying to jump on guillotines in the clinch. I'm like, I know you're going for it, but like you could just drag this guy down, get into a half guard, get yourself into mount. You won't even need to get into mount. You could submit him with an arm triangle from the opposite side, just like Bukauskas did. And he was like making me sweat it. And he finally got the arm bar in round 1. And that was his first win in 5 years?
Oh, yeah.
And this guy was an underdog to Bellato. And now he's sitting at, what is he now? Minus 180? Minus 185 against Erslan. And I just can't do it, man. I can't do it. And then I look at the Erslan side and I'm like, he's 0-2 in the UFC. I don't think he's looked terrible in his UFC fights. Is Crute going to go in there and like take him down and sub him in round 1? I don't think so. Is he going to go out there and outstrike Erslan? I don't think so. Is he going to have enough in the tank in round 2 and 3 to win a decision or dominate those rounds? Like, I don't really think so. So, I mean, I think Erslan as a plus 160 dog is the side to me. You know, I think he could knock him out early. I think over the course of 15 minutes, I think he could do the better work. So for me, it's the dog in the co-main event and Ivan Erslan. What are you thinking?
Dude, it's funny. So you and I used to be in this group chat. I remember the one guy that we had as a mutual put us in the group chat together. And we actually had watched Jimmy Crute fight Anthony Smith live. That's how I met that guy to begin with. And I remember that fight just being like horrible. Like, why would you wait until your leg is completely gnawed off to start wrestling a guy who has 0 takedown defense? Like, it didn't even make any sense to me. He kind of gets lucky, like even the Bellato fight, right? We talked about this yesterday, is the way he got on top in round 1 was off a Bellato failed takedown, and he just hipped over and got to the mount. It's like, how lucky can you be? Erslan, to me, he's got very good hips, very good movement. I think his boxing is very crisp. Like, he always keeps his chin down. He sees all the punches in front of him. He's constantly parrying punches and firing back. I just think, like, I mean, look how badly Jamal Hill killed Crute. And Jamal Hill didn't do anything crazy. And even in hindsight, we can see Jamal Hill wasn't this once-in-a-lifetime talent. He was Jamal Hill. And all he did was wait for Crute to run at him, swing these massive overhands that don't really ever land, and all he did was fire down the center. I think Erslan is such a clean, crisp boxer. I think he's going to find those openings all day. Very good hips. He got good stand-ups. I think at 160, that's like one of the best spots on the card. A 2-3 knockout, even honestly, just play the regular knockout because who knows when it's going to come. I think Crute's chin is not good. Crute obviously has a lot of quit in him, especially too. He walks away from the sport every few years and retires, and he's a very emotional fighter. And I think especially in Australia, that's going to be the one person that really hurts. I think the crowd egging him on and getting him excited, one, is going to ruin his cardio, and two, is going to force him to fight at a pace he doesn't want to fight. I got Erslan for sure.
Yeah, I like it. We got the KO at plus 235. You probably get plus 250 or higher on a book later in the week. But I was looking at the round 1 KO probably plus 600 on a decent book. Erslan's got like 10 round 1 KOs.
Yeah, he's nasty, man. He's good. I like him. I like him a lot.
There was one guy he fought in the regional scene, like Chuzagayev or something. Some Russian name, and I feel like he's a better wrestler than Jimmy Crute, and he couldn't really like take him down and hold him down. So I think Erslan gets it done, man. I like
a good spot.
I like,
especially in the co-main event. You have to wonder why they put that fight in the co-main event of all the fights.
Yeah, well, what else are you gonna put there?
You could have had Thainara in that spot, but instead.
Yeah, put Loma Luke Boonmay in the fucking co.
Listen, she's a little superstar. Ask your friend Nolan who should be in the co-main. He'll tell you.
Give me Loma. All right. We're both on Erslan there. We both like the KO. I'm loving that one. I already had a bet on it. Maybe I'll have to add to it, or maybe I'll look for a prop. That brings us to the main event. We're at Carlos Ulberg taking on Dominic Reyes. We got Reyes coming in here on a 3-fight win streak against Dustin Jacoby, Anthony Smith, and Nikita Krylov, the ghost of Nikita Krylov. Carlos Ulberg on a nice long winning streak, beat the former champion in Jan Blachowicz and beat the former title contender in Volkan Oezdemir. I'm interested in this one to hear what you got to say because I think Ulberg should win it, but Dominic Reyes, is his chin back? I don't really think we can say yes or no because he hasn't really fought anybody to test it. I think Ulberg's probably going to be able to test it, but it's probably going to have to come from the fault of Reyes overextending or being too aggressive because I don't think Ulberg's going to go in there swinging heavy lever. He's kind of a guy that feels you out. So I feel like it could be a slow pace type of fight until it finally picks up. And then they're starting to exchange a little bit. And then I think Ulberg probably cracks him. So I'm going to take Ulberg here at minus 250. I don't know that I want to bet it at minus 250 because I feel like it could be a close fight until it's not. But maybe it's just a close fight the entire way through. So I think he's the rightful favorite. I'm going to take Ulberg, but I'm interested to hear what you got to say.
Well, this is here's the way that I like to put this because you said, all right, does his chin ever get better? Does it what does his chin look like? So the way that Santino always explains this to me, when you're born, you get a rope, and every time you take a shot to the head, you take a punch, you get a knockout, that rope gets a little bit shorter, a little bit shorter. You can't reattach the rope. You don't get to add a rope back. It's just gone. Your connectivity by your jaw and your brain and everything, it just shuts off. And basically it's a trauma response. The second you get hit so big like that, your brain will actually just start to shut off as an auto response. So is his chin better? I really doubt that. And exactly like you said, he hasn't had someone to really test that. You've had a lot of guys like Jacoby's a jabber and a low kicker. Who really even knows what Krylov was doing? That dude was insane that fight. Also, it was funny. They just openly called him out for steroids and then just breezed past it like nothing in that fight. The thing with Ulberg that we had kind of talked about yesterday on the breakdown, and this is something I like, is he'll fight at the pace that you fight at, right? And Reyes, the whole thing was when he was getting knocked out, it's because he would overextend and just charge at people, and that's when he was taking the shots on the chin. And the opposite effect has happened when he's getting his knockouts, as guys are charging at him and they're running into straight shots and getting knocked out. I think Ulberg is a much more precise striker. He fights at the end of his range. He feints constantly. I think Reyes is going to end up being on the back foot, and Ulberg's just going to pick him apart in a very like slow, kind of tepid pace. Now, watching the film, the one thing that I was a little concerned with is Reyes has a lot more fire in him. If his chin does hold up, or if Ulberg can't find it and put it together, Reyes is definitely going to fill the space with volume, and that is the one thing I worry about is Ulberg in a 5-round fight against somebody who will take the fight to him. I think that is where Reyes has a huge advantage is in the cardio and the volume. But that being said, 25 minutes to try to protect your chin against a big puncher who is very, very accurate, that's a tough ask for me. I'm going to pick Ulberg, but like you, I don't like the chalk on Ulberg, but I do think he wins. I think Dom has been running a little bit hot, and I think this is his sell spot. I'm going to take Ulberg.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping we get a better line on Ulberg. I think it opened at -1. I would have played -165, -175, but once it hit like -200, I was like,
yeah, now it's a little expensive.
Let's hold our horses. Think about it a little bit more. But
pull up the. Can you pull up the chat that says the Blachowicz arguably beat Ulberg?
That one.
Yeah, I would say it's a very big difference in fight style though too, because you have Blachowicz. Massive power, and he never takes a backward step. Reyes is very much like touch and go, find his openings. He blitzes and runs away. It's just two completely different fight styles. I think it's really hard to compare one to the other in that situation.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're both kind of like counter strikers, and that's why I think it could start slow.
The whole fight might be slow. I mean, what's Ulberg by decision, or even Reyes by decision? I mean, at that point.
Fight goes is +300. Ulberg decision +450. Reyes decision +650, +700.
Probably not enough for me, but
yeah, it'd be fucking sweaty. It's like this over 2.5 is like about where I would put it, honestly. So I mean, I'm not interested on either.
But Carlos definitely took Fabio Charant to a decision. So I don't know.
True. Shout out to Fabio Charant. He's like big in the gambling space. Like
he's God's horniest warrior too. That's why I had to stop following him. It was a little too much for me.
The only question I have about Ulberg is his performance versus Jan. Other than that, he should dominate to a decision or get the KO. Reyes. I mean, I don't really think that was like a bad performance by Ulberg. Like it's still Jan Blachowicz, man. Like he's the guy that should have beat Micallef. What, 3 years ago? Chewed up his legs. I mean, I don't really think that's a terrible look. He won the fight. So,
all right. Are we going to give out some parlays? I have to get running. I have
let's do it.
All right. You ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Super parlay. These are all the spots that are very close lines, but I really like a lot. So leading off, we have Musasa -150, Micallef -102, Tafa -115, Erslan +160, Matthews 410, and Jack Jenkins -280. 16 parlay for +2,608. Enjoy. Weekends on me.
Jesus. Beautiful. All right, Brandon. Appreciate you for taking the time out of your day and breaking this down with us. Chat.
Thank you, sir. We will have you. We're going to have you on the podcast soon. And then, like I said, my invite is open. You ever want to come out, Arizona, come train, check out the podcast. Right. Doors are always open.
I'm down. I appreciate it, brother. That's going to do it. We're out of here. Have a good week, everybody. Peace.